Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Welcome, folks. Welcome to Queer Bee Dragons. We are back with, what is this, episode 6?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Of our limited time campaign, Arkinia, the Elements of Surprise. I am your humble DM, Roxana Meta. And these are my wonderful players.
Hi,
We've got
everybody.
Tara and Halo and Des, no, and Teebs and Chris. So, boy, I don't think we really have anything in the way of announcements except for our usual. Chris, would you mind?
Welcome to Query Dragons. Catch us every other Sunday live on Twitch or catch up on our YouTube and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok at Queerby Dragons.
All right. I think pretty much, unless anybody else has anything to say, we can start our intro.
Yep.
Halo.
I will remember.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We are not going to be live in 2 weeks from now.
Oh, yeah.
All of us.
Our normal,
yeah.
normal scheduled, not this Sunday, not next Sunday, but the Sunday after that, we will not be here as we normally would be.
First week of September. All of us have things happening.
Yep.
Sorry.
Is busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a busy
We still
time.
love you, though.
Yeah. We still love you.
We'll be back.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all have some secrets to still uncover. You got some strange happenings to puzzle out. I'm not letting you off that easy.
All right.
Okay.
Opening.
Yeah.
We're back, everybody. Hi.
We're back. All right, let's get started on our session for the day. We do a fun thing here where we actually have our characters do our recaps. And today we are hearing from Devin, I believe. So, Tara, take it away.
You are muted.
Muted. Where? Yeah. Okay, so I wrote a letter, and I definitely am paying to try and have this fast-tracked back home.
Okay.
Okay. Gotha Telkit. I hope this letter finds you quickly and in good health. I'm currently in Cloven Top, and it seems like fate on Melora has brought a few of us together. Fate intertwining and all that. I called Ma, and she said you mentioned the magic's a bit odd there, and I assume you mean the ley lines. I've been having dreams about the farm withering, and my magic is also withering. We have come across some curious folk here in Cloven Top, and the people that live here have been going missing. My little group thinks that maybe they're being gathered for maybe some type of sacrifice to possibly destroy a ley line. We're not too sure, though. We're going to have to try and figure this out, especially if it has something to do with the ley line. When you get this, please try to message me. May the Wild Mother bless you, Devin. Pages shuffling.
Oh, I'm on mute. Nice. Okay, great. So, did you want to find a courier like you might be able to find a winged courier like an Arakocra?
Someone super fast, and I will pay extra money for it.
Okay, cool. So I would say that the general would know like there is somebody in town who's willing to send messages, and they will call up an Arakocra. Quell, this is not somebody that you know, but you're not too close to where your family is, and they will take your message. It'll take about half a day to get there if they fly at top speed, and it will cost you 4 gold.
Oh, done.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
4 gold.
That's
Yeah,
a lot
I-
for level 3.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely level 3, but yeah, I've got that. I can.
Okay. So off they fly with your letter. And also, if you could send me a copy of that, please.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will. I'll go right on the typing. I'll put it in the doc.
Put it in the doc,
The
man.
doc.
We love a good doc.
Yeah.
Rox loves her docs. So
Rock
you
stocks.
they're all rock stocks.
Yeah.
So you are all at I think you're outside the general store, the Cloven Top General Store at this moment. Sorry for the sirens if y'all can hear this. And Fibbit, you're just gonna come out and rejoin everybody after you did your thing inside.
Mhm.
So you reconvene outside the general store. What are you doing next?
Yeah, what did we
Anybody?
did we talk about having to go back to the blacksmith to pick up some stuff potentially?
Yeah,
Or did we already do that?
you did not pick up all your stuff. A couple of things he was able to identify off the top of his head. So he knew the ever smoking sphere, for instance, and the all-purpose tool. But you had a few other things you left with him, and he said, I think it would take about an hour if I remember correctly, because it's 10 minutes per item, and I'm trying to remember how many items it was. But it's you guys have been you're almost at the point where you could go back and
Okay.
it's about the right time. You could go back and claim those, pick those up and see what they are.
Yeah, we could do that. And then oh geez. Yeah, we've already talked to the blacksmith. I guess maybe the only thing, maybe we could potentially scout out the island again. I don't know. I'm not really.
Maybe we could get more pie.
Ursula may be baking at this very moment. You don't know.
Ursula may be baking at this very moment. We don't know. Look, sometimes the DM is just Fibbit's inner monologue.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like in canon that might be kind of what a DM is.
That actually kind of tracks, yeah. So, should we just say you're gonna head back to Mick's place to pick up some stuff? Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So you've sent your letters and you head back there. Yadira is still there chatting. She's just taken a seat on a stump and is chatting with Mick, who stands up when you enter and says, "Hey, you're back. Good timing. Just finished up." So let's see what we've got here. Okay. Now you guys are going to have to help me out because I need to make sure I remember what went to whom. What would be the first object you guys want to pick up?
We've got a belt, a cloak, and brown potion.
A belt, a cloak, and a potion. Okay.
Yeah.
He starts with the potion.
Mm-hmm.
Hands it back to, I think it was Fibbit's.
Yeah, Fibbit, kind of just very, very, as awkwardly as possible. Kind of.
He sets it very gently into your hand, recognizing your nerves. This is a potion of climbing you got here. And so, yeah, it'll give you a climbing speed about equal to as fast as you can walk, which is going to be, I think, pretty handy for you, seeing as I don't think you can walk up surfaces necessarily.
I could, if I wanted to. I could.
I shouldn't make assumptions about people's abilities. So that's on me. I'm sorry about that. Yes, so Fibbit, you have a potion of climbing. I can't remember if that is canon or something. FYI, everybody, I'm not at my usual home, and so I don't have my usual notes, but I made, if it's not canon, I have an item for it that hopefully you should be able to have access to.
I believe a potion of climbing is a real thing.
Okay, great.
That sounds like a real thing.
Okay, cool. The belt, he hands back to you, Devin, and says, it's the buckle really that you want to look at here. This is a nice make, must say, really well done. And it'll just give you a little extra boost on your, thinking power, such as it is. So you said, I think this would have belonged to somebody. You said you found this, it wasn't Ushi's, hey? But it was with his stuff. Well, from everything you told me, I'm gonna guess this was probably the professor's.
Can you remind me what it was one more time, please?
So this belt is it's literally like a belt of intelligence, and it will give you a +1 to an intelligence score.
I guess so does it so it gives you a +1 to your intelligence, or just okay.
Correct, the wearer. And it's actually just the buckle. So you can take the buckle off and put it anywhere on your person.
Fancy.
If you want to, or you can wear it as a belt. So he hands that back to Devin. And then he wipes his hands off on his ragged homunculus to pick up the cloak and hands that back to you, Quell. This is a cool thing. I haven't seen one of these before. It was pretty, I must say, pretty neat, as the kids say. This is a poncho of dryness, and this'll let you. First of all, you can't get wet while you have it on, which is pretty nifty. But also, it means that you can't, any kind of liquid like acid, anything like that, isn't going to affect you. This isn't going to cut through it. So some poisons too, I think. It's going to make you, at least where it touches your body, invincible to that. You're going to have to look out for your feet, though. I'll tell you that much, because if you're walking through acid, it's not going to do you any good.
Okay, thank you. That's really handy. I was actually going to ask if it prevented all of me from getting wet if I was wearing it. Like, could I go swimming with it and stay dry?
If the water gets up underneath it, I think you're going to have some more trouble. But you could probably fashion it around you in a way that might work out. You could certainly float like across the water on it. You'll see it repels water. It's funny, I'm just used to any kind of fabric I wipe my hands off, but he sort of like smears a little sweat on it, and you can see it just rolls right off.
Ooh,
oh, that is handy.
Fancy.
Thank you.
I think that was it, right, folks? Any other pieces?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Yadira pipes up from where she's sitting. Hey, you folks wanted to talk to Red, right? That was something she nods over at you, little chin nod to Fibbit. Something you wanted to do?
We still, we don't want to do it. We don't have to.
Well, you're going to have a little trouble, I think, at this point, because he just stopped by, got half the story from me and Mick here, and he's headed down to the island to sort it out himself. So
we should let him.
Yeah, you can do that if you want to, but from what y'all have described to me, he's not going to last long down there.
You didn't warn him not to head that way?
I mean, you can warn a folk, but you can't stop a folk. Not really.
I feel like it is possible.
He shrugs at you. Big ol' half-orc shrug. Whatever.
What we heard, he's not really much use as far as any sort of enforcement.
He's got a sword. So he just left about, I would say, 10 minutes ago.
You all are fine with just letting him, die? Also, looking at the rest of the the group too.
And I think by way of supporting what Ahalin is saying, Fivit like looks at them like very confused, and in the most non-judgmental tone he can possibly muster, says, "Do you hate him?"
Make a persuasion check
Yeah.
with advantage, Ahlin.
Can I make an insight on the reaction to the hate? A little curious.
Sure, go for it.
26.
26. Okay. Let's see
It's
what
almost
Chris.
like she's a charisma class or something.
Yeah, right. Let's see what Chris...
I got a nat 20, so 21.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
How do they really feel about him?
Pew, 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 pew. Okay, we'll start with you, Chris, then. No, a flicker of something that has got to be just like sensitivity like crosses her face. No, that's a strong word. Yadira, from what you can tell, is a very live and let live kind of person, to a fault. And so she doesn't have any, there's no, you're not reading any like active ill will in her demeanor whatsoever, but she believes that if somebody wants to make a dumb choice, they should be allowed to make a dumb choice. She
true
looks
libertarian.
Yeah. She looks over at you, Ahlin, and like you can see her brow kind of furrowing. She heaves a big sigh and she gets up. All right, we can go if you want. We can go after him.
I think we should. Otherwise, I don't think he is as equipped as we had hoped when we first talked about involving him in this.
All right.
Do you all agree? She's looking at Devin and Quell and Fivit.
I'm down to go get him. I don't think it's right to just let him walk off into his death. We came here not knowing we were going to try and save this cute little town, but I think we should definitely go get him.
It's like fidgeting with the potion. Do we? Okay.
I mean, we're here to help, and I mean, this is something that needs to be addressed, looking towards like Devin.
Settled then. Alan just automatically starts walking in that direction.
Following.
Yadira heaves a sigh and says, all right, I gotta stop and grab a couple things if we're gonna be out there for some hours. What do you think? Can I take like 10 minutes? She looks a little bit like, she's looking at Ahala now, like your sort of leadership vibe has increased in her eyes at this moment. We're gonna be out there for a while. I should grab a couple things.
Honestly, I don't think you should come at all. I think it should just be the four of us. You will most likely just get in the way.
Oh, okay, sorry, I'm processing that. Amazing. She'll look a little crestfallen. Yeah, a little, like her shoulders slumped just slightly.
Am I?
Again, like you've not seen any of this from her. All right.
I allowed to disagree? I just want to. If it's still very much fidgeting with the potion, looking like he's almost gonna drop it at some point, because we almost died.
She straightens up, runs her fingers through her green hair, and says, "All right, I know when I'm not wanted." Squares her shoulders,
Wait,
and she's
no. I want you so bad.
It's not that you're not wanted. It's just that 10 minutes is a lot of time, and yeah, like Ahalin's kind of walking away and just talking.
Are you walking? Are you following her? Because
No.
she got offended and is leaving, so she's already walking off.
Yeah, Alan's like speaking aloud and walking
Okay.
towards the direction of which Red would be in.
That's all right. That's all right. Do your thing. Whatever you got to do. Good luck out there.
Why?
Stomping
Alan,
towards her.
why?
Stomping towards the stork's leg.
Do you want to be responsible for another person getting hurt?
But I would like an extra person being responsible if I get hurt.
That's fair.
Because again, we almost died last time. We need help.
We're not going to the island.
We might, but well, the guy is going to the island. What if we don't catch up to him until we get there? Until he's like at the island, and then we gotta fight the guy again.
It seemed that they were protecting that house. If we can get to him before he gets to the house, or at least towards that house, then maybe we can stop him. But if he's already dead when we get there, then we don't need to be there. We can just leave. He's dead.
Okay.
In the distance, you hear the sound of a wooden door slamming as Yadira has walked back into the inn and slammed the door a little harder than she needs to.
Also, you hurt her feelings.
I know. I'll talk to her. I'll apologize. But sometimes folks need to get their feelings hurt so that they don't put themselves in danger.
Oh, so are we gonna hurt Red's feelings? We are saying as we are walking.
Yeah.
Are you?
With purpose, yeah.
Yeah, Alan's walking and talking this entire time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ursula at least said that Udera and I forgot the other guy's name.
Mac? Red.
Mac.
Mick.
Mick. Sorry.
No, I knew it was an M. At least could kind of hold their own, or we're kind of keeping an eye on the town in lieu of Red. So I'd imagine she'd have some abilities.
Not that I don't think she has abilities. I just think that she is another person that could potentially get hurt, and we're trying to protect them, no?
No, that's correct. But she at least knew Red versus us trying to talk to someone that we haven't met before, nor may actually hold our opinions valid.
That's a fair point. I just figured if he refused, we could knock him out.
I mean, you just said about not hurting people, but okay.
I mean, if he's a danger to himself and others, then why not?
That's usually what you do.
So, is there like a tier? There are tiers of hurting people. Like, there's a certain threshold that makes hurting people okay. Like, what's that line?
I don't know. I just go with the flow.
Okay. Fibbit looks very. That just gave him a headache. Fibbit starts has finally put the potion away, and you can see his little paws massaging his fluffy head because that was not a great answer.
All right, it's going to take you guys about 2 hours down to the edge of the lake. You know the path a little better now, so it won't take you longer than that. Is there anything in particular you want to do or say or prepare or anything on the way down? It's midday now, so sort of similar time frame to yesterday. You're heading down, basically it's going to be early afternoon when you get down there.
Can I see Red? Because if he left about 10 minutes before us and we're above, theoretically, we should be able to see him down the trail, right?
It's pretty...
I know you said
it is pretty overgrown. It's dense.
Yeah.
And you're also not sure which route he took. You're going down a path that you're familiar with. Yeah, definitely. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Anybody who wants to can do that.
Yeah, me too. 2 seconds.
Also, I was wondering if we would be making a little bit better time because we know what like landmines sort of to avoid.
Yeah.
Also, just kind of keeping an ear out for like little little explosions in case
Ooh.
something
Oh,
else
yeah.
gets triggered.
Oh
That's a
fuck!
good point.
Did they tell him about that?
You don't know. You did not find out exactly what he was told and whatnot. All you know is that he got about half the story and decided he was going to head down to the island and
So no, you probably didn't hear about the landmine.
And my perception was 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
18.
Okay, thank God, because my perception was a 9.
I got an 18.
You got 18.
Thanks,
Okay.
guys. Thanks for saving us.
Okay. You both, yeah, have a very good, strong map of this sort of trail in your heads. And so you're following with your eyes from above where you know the curves and twists are. There's a breeze in the trees, and you see, yeah, some insects and things, but there is no sign of another person down ahead of you.
Okay, fair. I just figured I'd try. I wasn't sure. Okay, cool. Well, then let's fucking make it. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't remember because it's been a while. Um, did I notice anything between Mick and Ahaland?
Make an insight check.
Did it seem like there was like any familiarity between there? Oh, come on, insight. Oh, that's good. 14.
There was, yeah, some level of familiarity. You're not able to read precisely what it was, but they clearly had met before, and he clearly respects her.
Okay. I guess then, like, on our walk, because you were asking, I'll look at Ahalan while we're like wandering around, and I'll just like casually say, "So, Ahalan, did you know Mick? He seemed to respect you quite a bit."
Yes, I know him.
Oh, that's nice. From then, have you been to Cloven Top before, or?
No, I've just been staying here for a little bit and getting to know people is just what I do.
Oh,
Are you guys like
Just-
best friends?
No,
Oh, okay.
he's a nice fellow, but no.
right. I'm just curious, Like I said, he seemed to respect you quite a bit, so I thought I'd ask.
He's a very nice fellow.
Agreed.
Are you guys regular friends?
What does that even mean, Fibbit?
Well, if one has a best friend, that implies the existence of a not best friend, or several not best friends.
Well, you can have
Right.
like acquaintances, people
What's
you know,
that?
but you don't. They're people you know, but I'd consider, for me, I'd consider Mick an acquaintance. I wouldn't say we're friends, but we're not best friends either. He's just
Okay.
someone I know.
Acquaintance is just someone that you say hello, talk about the weather, just
I-
normal
Okay.
communication, but not someone you'd spend a lot of time with
Oh,
or
okay.
interest to.
Okay. Um, am I your best friend, Devin?
Yeah, we've spent quite a bit of time together. I take care of you. We hang out. Yeah.
Wait, if I don't take care of you, does that mean I can't be your best friend? Like, you're not my best
No,
friend?
no, you're
Oh,
still
okay.
good. No,
Because I'm
no,
very bad at taking care of you.
that's
I-
fine.
One time I was trying to take care of Devin, and I let he lifts like the bottom of his cloak up, and it's like singed, and I forgot where the fire was. I'm not very good at it. And then Devin said, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't do that anymore."
The cloak is a little long for you. Really should get him.
No, I like it the way it is.
Okay,
It's okay.
that's fine. Okay. And when you lift up the
yeah.
cloak, you can see on the hem just a little bit that there's the name blue is stitched into just the bottom of it, but it's like started to like singe off. So you can definitely tell this was not Fibbit's cloak at first.
I think the long cloak suits you very well, Fibbit.
If you could see Fibbit blush under all the fur, or I guess what we've decided Fibbit does instead of blushing is yanks the hood over his face, and then
Ellen will
it makes a
pat,
Fibbit noise.
pat his little head.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember last session, friends.
Yeah, it was a minute.
Mhm.
We took an unexpected break,
It happens.
but yeah,
I'm trying to remember
It's fine.
if
Yeah.
Anything in particular?
Well told us. Did you tell? Yeah, you told us a little bit what was in your letter, right?
Yes. I went over with Devin about.
Yeah.
I mean, Ahalin I know was there. I think Pivot might have been inside. But yeah, I was discussing the ley lines because we were looking at the maps and such, and
Yeah.
because both you and myself had some similar knowledge, or
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So I did
Just double
disclose
check.
that.
Yeah. All right, slowly coming back. My brain is Swiss cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Same. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I guess that's all I say because I don't got
Yep.
some nothing.
All right. So it'll take you guys, a little quicker than previously, about 2 hours to get down to the edge of the lake. You are able to easily navigate the spots that you now know that where there are some mines. You see that there are a couple sort of slightly down. Basically, when you hit the edge of the lake, there's a trail that goes down towards Ursula's place, and you can see that a couple of them have been dug up. You think like you can see some claw marks, like big old claw marks. Perhaps she's gotten started on ridding this lakeside of those mines.
Oh, good.
Perfect. You're seeing across the lake to the island that you're more or less familiar with this side of it. There is no boat here, so it's a bit of a swim. Or you also know that Ursula has a boat in case you want to go get that. And the next part is up to you.
Can we see any tracks? Maybe our ranger can take a look around for possibly like red, like along the beach, or yeah.
Okay. Yeah, whoever wants to can make a survival check.
I will make the suggestion to the ranger.
Yep.
I guess in like my words, I'll be like, Quill, maybe you can go up and check for some tracks for red while we'll look down here.
Yeah.
Ellen will head towards the water as well. And
I did have a question though. Did we get a long rest? I wasn't sure how, because I did get shot in the shoulder previously.
We did.
You guys had a long rest at the Stork's Leg Inn.
Yeah,
I just was like, I was figuring I didn't update my sheet, but I was like, maybe something happened because like mine was still a little fuzzy.
Yeah, I remember because Fibbit threw a big old Fibbit tantrum about doing a watch.
Yeah, and we slept outside.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because I was like, I know we had talked about like the whole rooming, sleeping arrangements and all that, but I was like, did we actually sleep or did something else happen?
No.
Yeah, Yadira had offered you the indoor rooms, which you searched, and then headed back up to the deck. So yeah, you got a long rest. You're good there.
I have it written down.
Whatever you used today.
Thank you. Yeah, I can fly up and see if I can see some tracks. I just kind of like massage my shoulder for a little bit, and then I'll go take a run and start and try to get some air.
Little runway.
A little runway.
So anybody who wants to, make me a survival check and tell me specifically where you are looking.
Alan's. Oh, go ahead.
No. You go first.
Alan's at the beach. She is looking at the sand and into the water, and she rolled a 17.
And she rolled a 17. Okay. How long would you also just tell me how long you all would like to spend? For instance, so for you, Ahlin, there's no immediate sign of hoof prints or anything that you don't recognize. If you want to search more extensively, it'll take a little more time. You probably would have spent 5 minutes on it or something.
5 to 10 minutes, but she's in a rush, so.
Okay. There's no immediate sign where you are on this sort of sandbar that you're familiar with.
I got 15, and I guess I'm also kind of looking. If Alan's looking in the sandbar, I'm gonna kind of comb through the trees, up and down where I kind of know some of these paths are located.
Okay.
I rolled a 4, and so I think Fibbit has become fascinated by a trail of small ants going back up to their little anthill.
Mm-hmm. It's cool because they're carrying little pieces of leaves, which is really neat.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's so big compared to them, and they're so tiny.
How is it possible that such tiny little creatures could carry such big chunks of leaves? Fibbit loses 10 minutes to thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then you start to wonder what they might taste like, the leaves, or then maybe the ants. But you wouldn't eat ants. That doesn't make any sense.
No, that's gross.
So, yeah, there's just a lot of thoughts about ants.
8 for survival.
8 for survival. And when you took to the air, where are you searching?
Probably near the water edge, kind of just seeing if maybe there is another area that he kind of other docks, maybe.
Okay.
Or boats.
Great. So sounds good. So Devin, you head a little bit back up the trail, avoiding those little spots where there are mines, and you go in the opposite direction from Ursula's place. This area, and you guys had fought the bone whelks sort of on a rocky, there was a rocky slope. There's a lot of large boulders and things, rocky outcroppings in this part of the forest. So you head off the trail a bit, and amongst the rocks, I would say about 5 to 10 minutes off the trail, maybe more 10 minutes off the trail, you do see a few hoof prints in the dust around the rocks, which, thinking back, that you were told that I believe you were told that he is a ramkin, Red.
Red the ramkin?
He's a ram folk. And Quell, you don't see anything, although you are sweeping this sort of beach from the air. You can see which direction Devin is going, and so if you want to check in with Devin, you can point out what you've seen. Perhaps you guys can, get a little more detail that way.
Yeah, I'll kind of flag them down with the whole group over here, and I'm pointing up the trail or around. Yeah. What direction do the hooves go? Are they like coming down the trail and onto the beach area, and they're still heading like opposite Ursula's place, or?
So there's actually not a trail here.
Oh.
If you look up at the kind of cliffside, you can see how somebody who is extremely adept at climbing, at bouldering, basically, could come straight down the rocks. This is, like I said, it's going to be about 10 minutes off the trail in the opposite direction of Ursula's. So you can see that he made a path down the rocky outcroppings that was not something that you all would easily have been able to traverse, but this is a person who has lived around here for a while from the way people talk about him, and so he would know the area quite well. Okay. Once Devin sort of flags you down, Quell, you can see now way down the lakeside where the rocks sort of meet the water, there are a couple of hoof prints there as well.
As Quell comes down, definitely you would see her stumble a little bit for her landing. And then like kind of just right herself. Oh, so yeah, I wasn't able to see all those footprints from above. I'm glad you're able to find a bit of the trail.
Okay. Does it look like does it look like the hoof prints, I don't know, like lead into the water?
What?
They're by the water, yes.
They are by the water. Do they continue into said water?
Yeah, if you want to kind of like wade in and peer around, you'll see one or two.
Okay.
Do rams swim? I would imagine
This-
those hooves be
yeah,
very
this is-
bad for swimming.
This is Tara speaking? No freaking idea. And I know a lot of animal facts, but that's one I don't know.
Fibbit gets up and is like, did you know ants can carry I think for how small they are, I think ants might have super strength. Because like an ant is very little and it was carrying a leaf that was like so much bigger than him. Did you guys find Red yet?
Very interesting information, but
they're so
yes,
little
I did
and the
know.
leaves are so big.
Yeah. I'll like try to flag Ahlin, and I will say, do you mind going for a swim?
I will go ahead and jump in. I'll just take that as an invitation and go for it.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to go in, but I don't know if I swim or not.
Yeah. I mean, I think you guys can all swim. You're not necessarily good at it. Ahlin's swim speed is quite good, but the rest of you, I think, would be half speed. For sure, yeah. But you can. You won't drown. I won't make you like, we'll just see if you live through this, I guess.
Okay.
Also, try to practice floating more than swimming, unless it's really shallow.
If you get your feathers kind of spread out in the right way, you can sort of, yeah.
Well, light bones come in handy for the floating.
If you want to play around with the cloak that you now have, yeah.
It can be a boat.
You're sort of making it work. It's a little tippy, like it's going to be hard to keep your balance, but you can sort of like if you wrap it up underneath yourself, you can sort of make like the way an umbrella floats upside down on water.
You could be an umbrella boat.
You can't really propel yourself much.
We can get you a stick for that.
Yeah.
Also, as a note, if any of us decide to go swimming and aren't like Ahlin and probably have gills, you can hold your breath up to 1 plus your Constitution modifier for a minimum of 30 seconds. Nice. So yeah, if you have like a -1 to con, you still can hold your breath for 30 seconds.
And so you can dive that way if you want to,
Fibbit's, do I really have to? Is that something I absolutely have to do? Will you be angry with me if I don't do that? Okay, then I won't.
I'm not going in. I'm just standing there. Okay. I think I will before Ahlin leaves, though. Just because I'm gonna use it. I'm going to bless the other 3 people, just in case. Oh, it's for a minute. Never mind. I thought it was longer than that. I'm not gonna bless you. I'm sorry.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah, that's okay. Go for it.
Barely any ripples in the water. Ahlin is such a beautiful swimmer. And this is like, you're getting a little bit of a better kind of look at her in the shallows as she heads off. Really just like fluid and elegant. All of her sort of like silken accoutrements sort of streaming like little currents next to her. It's quite beautiful. And tiny little glints of beads in the sunlight that's cutting through the top of the water. Almost at a certain point, she blends in.
I wish I was that graceful. Beautiful.
Ahlin, where are you going? What you doing?
She is looking for anything in the water. If she runs into if she runs into any of her fish friends that she met last time or new ones, she'll talk to them and see if they can give her direction if they see Red or Remkin.
Okay, great. So give me either a perception or an investigation check to start with. Your choice.
13 perception.
Okay. You're not familiar with this exact patch of the lake, but you had a pretty good swim in this lake in general. So you were able to sort of gauge more quickly where the sort of nooks and crannies of the lake bed are and the types of plants that grow here. And you had done a lot of swimming previously while you were also staying here. So with that, yes, you don't see any sign on the lake bed of somebody having come through here, but that would make sense because it gets pretty deep. There's a long, shallow section right off the shore, and then it kind of cuts off and it goes into a very deep area. You do see a school of fish swimming around. It is hard to tell if they are the same ones, but they are some fish. If you'd like to go up and have a wee chat.
Yeah, she'll swim pretty close to them, but not enough to maybe startle them. Just be like, "Hello, friends.
Hello.
Have you seen Ramkin through here?"
What?
They have horns, and does she know what color he is? Coloration?
You can probably guess.
I don't know. Are rams like cream colored?
His name is Red.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey. Well, you know what? She doesn't know. That could be
that's right.
That's totally fair.
So
it's totally up to you.
she'll just be like, hooves and has some horns, and she'll like do the gesture.
Hooves. Hard parts. Hard. Ooh, like hard parts. Not fins. No fins.
No fins.
Yes.
Do you know which way he went?
They sort of cycle and then all face toward the island. Their little noses, like 40 or 50 little fish.
How has it been over there? Has anything changed?
Same.
All right, friends.
Swim,
Be safe.
Swim.
And Alan is going to just kind of wave them off and go up into the water and see how far she is from her friends.
Goodbye.
This is so good. It's so good.
You're a little ways out. Yeah, you can see them on the shore, but you're a good swim away. You were about, I would say, it's maybe for you a 20-minute swim to the island, and you're about halfway.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to see if there's anything that I can do. How far away are they about?
Oh boy, distance is fun. Okay. 10 minutes of swimming at your swim speed. What's your swim speed? 30 feet? I'm going to get this math wrong, y'all. I'm just going to tell you that
Yes.
up front. Okay. Yeah, you're real far away. What is that? It's got to be at least a half mile.
Okay. I will do.
It's open water, so you can see their little tiny forms on the beach.
Okay. I will do minor illusion, and I will cast out my voice saying on the island, and then from there, I will start heading towards the island to go get Red, hopefully.
What is the loudest minor illusion can do? I'm trying to remember.
It says if you create a sound, its volume can range from a whisper to a scream.
Okay.
It can be your voice, someone else's voice, a lion's roar, Well, sorry, I don't know why I kept reading all that.
You hear a lion folk from the, no, a leonin. So, yeah, you all on the shore hear the sound of Ahalin's voice magically projected saying, on the island. And it echoes just a tiny bit amongst the rocks. Island.
So,
Hi.
Ursula's boat, or is there a boat nearby? I like glance around.
There is not. There is between, like you can see between where you are and the sandbar that you're familiar with, there is like a little, like crumbling, decrepit, what was once a dock. There's some pieces of wood, but it's not a full boat.
Roughly how far is Ursula's?
It's a ways down
Mm-hmm.
the lake side. I'm trying to remember how long it took you to get there. It was like, I want to say it was like almost half an hour. Does that sound right? I'm sorry. I know I'm the DM. I think,
To get where? From
especially 'cause
Ursula's house?
You've gone farther away from her place, so it's at least a half-hour walk. But it's about a half hour.
Oy.
I can fly to see if we can borrow her boat again. I imagine it would just take a lot longer swimming.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks like you would get a little waterlogged.
I am just worried about Ahlin being by herself.
I can fly to follow to keep her company.
That would be great, and then I'll just book it to Ursula's, and hopefully she'll let me borrow her boat.
I wouldn't see why not. She's been quite friendly.
Yeah. We have just asked quite a lot from her for the last couple days that we've even been here, so. But if you could just keep an eye on Auckland, and then Fibbit and I will go. It's going to take a little bit. Maybe you can intercept with us and keep us updated as we're walking back to Ursula's.
If you wanted, you could also like run. That is always an option.
I mean, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah, we talk in terms of walks. It's a half-hour walk, but like
No,
you can book it.
I'm going to hoof it.
Hey!
Oh.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, there you go.
I keep forgetting about that button.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we have this little conversation, and Dev looks at Fibbit and just like goes like this, and then she takes off.
And then Fibbit goes, and it, like, literally, like, I kind of like gathers up like the cloak as if it were like skirts for one of those dresses, and starts running after Devin as fast as they can.
I imagine that for Fibbit, they would actually go fastest on all fours. Still, you want to try that, or you can be on hoist your cloaks up. That also is good. But I think that would make sense. That Fibbit actually would be able to go a touch faster if they were using their front paws as well. Which you've seen, like people do that. You've seen Ursula, for instance, do that.
Yeah. Yeah, Fibbit's already getting his feet wet. He don't want to get his hands wet too, man. Fibbit doesn't like feeling dirty and gross. Fibbit don't like it.
Don't like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say for both of you, make me let's do either a perception or a survival check with advantage. On the way
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that perception check.
Yeah. Not a big survivalist, Fibbit?
Yeah, no, not with that beforehand.
Oh, you said with advantage. Duh.
Cool.
Okay. 21.
I got a 15 perception.
15 perception. Great. Between the two of you, you successfully avoid the remaining landmines.
Oh, thank God.
There are still a few.
Oh my
Ursula
God.
didn't quite get them all. And if y'all are barreling through, I was like,
Yeah.
there is a small chance that you'll hit some, but it was a small chance.
Whew.
Okay. Dev and Fibsy take off in the direction of Ursula's cabin. Quell, you're going to take to the skies? Take to the skies.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow the path where like Ahalin had popped up at and thrown her voice. So I'm gonna probably take more of a straight shot and keep eye out for Red as well.
You will be able to find Ahalin pretty easily because you see where she just popped up. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
She's also making it very easy. She's going like dolphin jumping almost, like through the water, kind of like in Fortnite. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, no. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
You said perception, yeah?
Correct.
16.
16. Okay. So, yeah, you're easily able to follow Ahlin, and winging a little bit higher, you can get a look at the island, and you're fairly familiar with at least part of this side of it. We can, by the way, if we want, open up Owlbear Rodeo map.
Wow.
It's still set to where we left it previously, so we'll have to have everybody move their pieces. But for now, there is a sort of a long sandbar on the end of the island. And you can see that there's some detritus of some kind on the little shore there. Something, yeah, pieces of something. But you're not super close to it. Not close enough to see something like hoof prints or anything like that.
Okay, so we are on one of the sandy banks of the island.
So nobody is on the island currently, but I just wanted to let you know that the visual of the island is there.
Oh,
and
okay.
Let me point to where, how do I do that again? Oh yeah. So over here is where Quell is going to see something left on the beach.
Could you point to where that was one more time? Oh, okay. I see. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So what do we want to do?
Why don't you guys think about that, and we're going to take a quick break.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll be back in about 10. Everybody.
Okay. We'll see you then.
Yeah. everybody. We're back.
Hi. Welcome
Hi,
back.
Dr. Nick.
Welcome back to A Queer Bee Dragons. We are playing Arkinia, the Elements of Surprise. We are officially halfway through this campaign, and it's starting to get interesting.
Hopefully we don't die.
What's that?
I said, hopefully we don't die.
Oh, well, you haven't yet, I don't think. Almost.
Yeah, almost a couple times.
Chris, you want to give people the rundown?
Welcome to Queer Bee Dragons. Catch us every other Sunday live on Twitch, with the exception of the 3rd of September. Or sorry, the 4th of September. We will not be airing. But once again, you can catch all of our videos on YouTube. Give us a like or follow on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I think that's all of them. And let's get back to the show.
All right, let's do it. So, we have split the party. No big deal. Achlin is in the water. Quell is in the air above her. And Devin and Fibbit, you are hustling.
Yeah.
Running to Ursula's house. And when you get there, she is out in her little yard with her one of her little aprons on, and she's doing some gardening.
Do you have more pie?
Oh, hi there. Oh, you come back to say hello. Let me turn my notifications off here.
No, that's not true.
No, I do have your pie. I baked another one this morning.
Fibbit,
we don't have time.
Oh, we don't have time for pie.
No.
But can we have pie after?
Maybe. And you see, Devin is very tired.
Yeah.
She's a very heavy lady, and she's a lot of equipment on. So she's like breathing real hard.
What is now? Ursula stands up and gets a better look at you guys. What is going on? What is it now?
Can we borrow your boat again?
Absolutely. What's happening?
We
start ushering you toward the dock.
We found Red's footprints heading into the water. I already have Auckland and Quell on the track, but I don't swim very well, and Fibbit will not get in the water. So.
Red, that absolute doofus. All right, well, sure, you can absolutely borrow the boat. We'll get you some pie, okay, when you come back, and you just got to come back all healthy and safe.
Okay, I'll do it for pie.
I'm gonna graciously hug Ursula. We're kind of the same size, sort of, kind of. I think she's a little bigger. I'm like, oh, thank you, and running.
Yeah. Fibbit also kind of okay, cool.
She gives you a very gentle pat. No claws, just paw pads. Do you need help though? You want me to come? I can swim real well.
Ahelin said no one else is allowed to come.
Auckland did not say that.
That's what she said.
Are you going to the island?
We think so.
Well, all right. I think maybe I should come.
If you want to, you can kind of handle yours. I trust you.
I don't understand, because Ahelin said Yadira can't go. I don't know what.
This is also her island. This is also Ursula's island.
Okay, so you can put yourself in danger if you own property. Okay, I understand.
If you don't want my help, that's okay. I'm just a little worried about y'all.
I would love your help, but it sounds like Ahelin just doesn't. I think she said she doesn't want to be responsible if anybody else gets hurt, which doesn't make any sense, because wouldn't we want more people responsible for if she gets hurt? I don't get it, but I think she would be mad if we brought you along.
I see what's happening. All right, well, you will just tell her that I'll be responsible if I get hurt for myself, okay?
Okay.
All righty. So she's going to give you guys a good shove off the dock once you're in the boat. And then takes her apron off, folds it up neatly, places it on the dock, and then full cannonballs into the water. Just galoosh. And your little boat is riding the little waves that she's created.
I'm doing the rough. Yep, I'm fucking huffing it again. We're going dashing, mad dashing.
Okay.
Fibbit's along
Right.
for the ride. Fibbit's like holding on to the edges of the boat like as hard as he can.
Seeing that you are really hustling, Ursula's also going to grab. There's that little short rope end dangling in the water. She's going to go ahead and grab that in her mouth, and just like as she swims, try to get you guys a little extra oomph. All right, Ahlin and Quell, what are you up to?
I don't think Ahlin knows what Quell saw, so I think she's just gonna try to get onto the island and see if she can see red. Like maybe try to get onto the high point, which may be the dock area, not the dock, the other big brown spot on the map.
Cool. So totally great. So looking at this, looking at the island, the highest point is the house. So that big old brown spot on the map is the house, and it is at the very tippy top.
Yeah. Alan knows not to go to the house because that's where the guardian was guarding.
Yeah. Last you saw him is wherever that little swirl is on the map. This is just literally the map as last we left it. So that's where we saw him last, or her, them.
I think she will try to get up here and see if she can see anything.
Okay. Yeah, you've been up there before. That's the deck.
Okay, the deck. Sorry.
No, that's great. Totally fine. I just realized I had not maybe explained the topography, but that is the low side. So this side of the island is like right on the water here. This is starting to get a little higher, and then up in this direction, it's all a slope, pretty steep slope. There's stairs and things up to the house up here, which is the high point.
Okay. From this angle, is she able to see where that little sandy point is, and like is she able to see around in that area of trees?
So basically she would be able to see a little ways up the path here, and whatever's in these trees, but this is pretty thick here, so she's not gonna be able to see all the way down to the beach on this side. But are you going to make how are you getting up there? Are you going to make an effort to be stealthy at all? Are you going to come up from the dock? Or are you going to just climb up onto the deck? I think what you did before, like okay.
Yeah, she just climbed up the way she did before. And she's just going to try to scan through and see if she sees anything. And if she does or doesn't, she's also going to look up to see if she can see Quell up in the air.
Okay, go ahead and make me a perception check.
I want to say it is a 13, but give me just a second to double check. Yes, it is a 13.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start moving some of these icons so we can get a better idea. Why is that telling me to look something up in the dictionary? Okay, so we can get a better idea of where everybody is, moving Devin and Fibsy off of here. Okay, from where Ahlin is, with a 13, she can see that the bright creature is a little further up the trail, maybe here. She can see the rays of light coming through the trees in a little break here where the path is. But that is all you can see at this distance. The deck here is as you remember it. There's some broken and burned looking furniture. And where you are right now on that map, there is a circle of some kind imprinted in the wood of the deck.
And is she able to see Quell at all from where she is?
Yeah, I would say so. Quell is kind of up in the sky on that right side of the map. So yeah.
Okay. Then I think she's going to try to avoid the light guardian. And if possible, she would like to try to start heading towards whatever direction Quill is, so that maybe she can intercept them at some point.
Mute again. I'm on mute again. Okay, sounds good. So clambering off the deck, you will head through the underbrush. There's not a path that goes this way, but you can certainly head through the bushes and whatnot. There's some fallen trees here. There's a little meadow down here. So each of these like kind of ridges here is a slope.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of a slope downward and a little field of flowers here. And there's access to the sandbar over here on this side.
And as she's walking, is she able to see if there's any footprints or hoof prints or anything like that?
Make a, let's do, this is a survival check. Yeah. Tracking.
18.
Oof. Very nice. Okay. You don't see anything until you get, let me grab my little hand thing here. Okay. Until you get about to here. And then you can see there are some hoof prints in the sand here and leading up right next to where basically there's not a lot of space where you can get from the sandbar up to that little meadow. So you're in the space that he also looks like he came through. Little hoof prints going this way.
I think I'll just raise my arm and kind of just wave at Quell. I don't know if they will be able to see me or not.
Yeah, I was seeing something from the sky in this area, that beach. That's where I was going to be heading to.
Great. Yeah. So you'll see Ahelin's form waving you over. You would already be close to landing.
Yeah. Now you said it was like a trident. Being a little bit of a closer.
Sorry. Detritus. It's just detritus. Some stuff like crumbled something. Once you get close to it, you can see that on the sandbar where the hoof prints come from, there's like a couple of large, like broken boards that are waterlogged.
Makeshift raft. Okay.
Full Titanicing it out there. Yeah.
Cool. Seeing Ahelin. Well, this definitely looks like the area Red came from. And then I'll go ahead and head over to closer. Right. Devin and Fibbit went to go see if they can collect Ursula's boat. I'm assuming they'll head to the dock.
I'm honestly not even sure if we should continue or proceed. So at this point, if he's made it this far, then I'm assuming he's already dead.
Well, this is a place I'd have to take care of. If their ploy has something to do with the ley lines, it's a task I've been assigned. Dealing with whomever's on this island is something I must try.
Right now?
I mean, plans are always better.
Then should we wait or meet up with the others and then make a plan?
Yes. But I wouldn't necessarily want to go it alone unless no one wants to accompany.
I'll help you.
That's appreciated. But you're right, we should check on Devin and Fibbit and see how they're doing. Looking out at the sea, do I see a boat coming in from any direction? Or I don't know if they'd be going to the same dock, because it seems a little concerning, because obviously our last battle. So I'd keep an eye out. But
yeah, you wouldn't see anything yet. Timing wise, this would be about when they're setting off.
Oh, also, and she'll just like kind of vaguely point in the direction that she saw the guardian. Lady, guys over that way.
Let's
Should
get to know.
probably avoid it for now. Maybe head towards and regroup.
We didn't really come up with a meeting point, did we?
No. That's why I think we should just head back to them and let them know. I don't see any more tracks from here. And she gestures down where the tracks are.
I'm gonna check a little bit more in that area, having probably a little bit more survival-y knowledge. Do I see like the tracks might be leading or other like potential broken debris? I assume a ram probably has a good jump, but
yeah. So the path here where Ahlin is, it's not really a path. It's like a break in the bushes where Ahlin is standing. That's where the hoof prints led from the beach. And so they're going in a general upwards pointing direction. If you want to check a little further, go for it. Make a survival check.
and I'm also trying to be stealthy while doing it.
Okay, make a
Just a heads
check.
up. Okay. So 19 stealth. Did you want me to roll for perception as well?
Yes, please. Or survival.
Okay, survival. Okay.
Lots of tracking.
10. Yeah. 10
Okay.
survival.
Okay, great. So the tracks lead in this direction, and you can see if you come over to this side of this little meadow here, there's a little stream running down from the higher portion of the island, and that's where you lose the tracks. There's a lot of rocks and boulders up that way.
So I'll report back to Ahlin. Well, he's definitely ventured up, but from the gist of it, it looks like he's taking some precautions. And I'll kind of gesture towards a path. It looks like he was following the stream, so probably trying to help minimize the trail. He didn't go up the front gate, so that's at least reassuring. So he at least took some concern to what they had informed him of.
Okay. Did you want to look for him a little bit more, or did you want to regroup with them?
Are you okay waiting down here? Did you want to wait for them?
I think it would be smart, especially if you need to continue on.
If anything happens, I'll meet you where the waterlogged down at the lower beach.
Okay. Do you want me to go meet up with them? And did you want to scout from the air?
Well, now that I have a little bit idea, I might try to stick to some of the foliage. I didn't see him when I was up. I guess I do have a little bit more idea potentially where. I'm kind of bright in the sky, and I'm afraid they'll already see me, so I think I'm gonna wander around down here. If you want to try to meet up with the boat to let them know, maybe to meet on that sandbank might be a safer place to come in at, and I'll see if I can locate Red.
Okay. So you're gonna go by yourself?
Yes, but I'll be safe. If I see the Guardian, I'll turn around.
Well, if you see the Guardian, it's gonna be too late.
And with that, you see just a little bit of concern. Maybe a slight reddening to Quell's cheeks underneath the yellowy orange. Well,
Maybe we
then
should.
I guess I would have failed in my mission. So
All right. Well, if you think that's the best course of action, then I trust in you. And with that, Alan's gonna head back towards the water and kind of look out for the boat and see if she can see the other Fibbit and Devin and Ursula.
All right. We will come back to you in a sec, Quell. But for now, Devin and Fibsy, Devin, which way are you taking the boat? Are you going to head for the spot that you're familiar with, or are you going to try to?
No.
Okay.
Fuck the dock. I ain't heading that way. No way. No way. We got our asses handed us to the dock. So like I'm gonna keep an eye out and I'm gonna like up like when Ursula's kind of like, pulling. I'm gonna say do not head to the dock. Oh, hold on. I forgot my accent. Don't head to the dock. Find another place. Dock is definitely not safe.
Okay. Yeah.
So
she
maybe a sandbar. Yeah.
She pokes her head out of the water.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you just lead then, and I'll just give you a little extra push.
Yeah, and I'll kind of like also try to keep my eye out to see if I can see Quell in the air, or maybe like if Quell like landed, I'll kind of like head that direction. I'll tell Fibbit to also help me keep an eye out because I know I'm rowing and Fibbit is probably facing the direction that I am rowing.
Yeah, Fibbit's got prey eyes. That's good for looking out.
Cool. Make me a perception.
Help.
Oh.
Help me.
Wow, okay. Yeah, Fibbit will help. We'll perform a help action.
Well, I meant like, yeah, also, I mean, we're doing the same thing.
I think it would make sense for Fibbit to be, because Fibbit's facing, if you've got your back to the island. So we'll have Fibbit do it with advantage. Please make a perception check with advantage.
Okay. That is a natural 20, baby.
Hey! Okay. You see a little glittery flash of blue on the beach as you guys get closer that you recognize as Ahlin's clothing and person, not just the clothing, but a real live person.
I see a pile of clothing. It looks like Ahlin.
R.I.P. And that's how Teebs found out their character was dead.
Yeah.
So you do not see Quell. Quell, you're going to stick to the treetops, I think, right? So you do not see Quell, but you do see Ahlin on that little beach over there.
Okay, like I don't know how to do the laser pointer.
The laser pointer is the little teardrop shaped one.
Got it. So
yeah,
Teebs, you're here. This is where Ahlin is. Okay,
yes.
So I guess I'll start to kind of head that direction. I don't know if this is this definitely a beach or is this like a cliff?
Ahlin's on sort of like it's not a neat and pretty beach. It's just like kind of like the edge of the water. Like there's some kind of rocks and things.
Okay.
It's not really, like you could land there if you were in a hurry. So you definitely could. But you could also go around to that little sandbar there. Ahlin, you would know to point them that way too if you want to.
Yeah. So I'll be coming in. Yeah. And I'll ask Fibbit and I'll say, do you see a little sandy bar close by that's not the dock?
Uh-huh.
We're heading that direction.
Yeah, just
Okay. And I can't.
Oh,
there we go.
Sorry, I did it for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I was going to, and I was like, laser pointer.
And then let's say I need a good little icon for oh, here we go. Well, no. Well, why not? It's got a bear paw in it.
There you go.
She doesn't use a bow and arrow, but that's right. Ursula does not have any weapons with her, BT dubs.
That's okay.
I'm
sure I got something I can give her.
So, okay, you land on the dock, or not the dock, the beach, and Ahlin, you go ahead and join them if you wish. Quell, where are you heading and what are you looking for?
I am looking for Ramkin. So I would kind of travel along the little like river, probably towards like this direction of trees,
Okay,
towards like the rocks,
lovely.
since I'm thinking maybe that area. Of course, I'm trying to just be stealthy while I'm moving, trying to get less attention and also hopefully not get stabbed again or shot at. So being mindful of my surroundings.
Okay, sounds good. So let's have you make a stealth check to start. Did I just have you do that? No.
A little bit when I was with Ahalin. I got a 19.
Yeah. Let's make another one just for you. Just
Okay.
for you. Now that you're heading farther up, there's a series basically of little pools with little waterfalls. It's super picturesque and beautiful. So there's kind of like stair steps in, not actual steps, but these pools that are staggered in amongst the boulders. Really beautiful spot.
They'd be way prettier if we didn't associate this entire island with, being murdered.
Honestly, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh my God, this is so nice. You got to like, no wonder she just rents this place out. It would be beautiful.
Yeah, super gorgeous. There's like little picnic spots on there's spots where clearly you could have a picnic, flat parts of the boulders.
Picnic.
18 for stealth.
Okay. Alrighty. And then let's have you make if you're looking for tracks, survival check. If you're looking around you, perception check. Up to you.
11 survival.
Okay. You don't see a whole lot. There's not a lot of sand or dirt amongst here. It's kind of a lot of grass, but there's one or two spots where you think, yeah, this kind of depression in the grass on the side of the stream or the little pond could be a hoof print. Yeah. So you head up that way. How far are you going to go?
I'll probably hold up around here.
Okay.
I'm keeping my ear out for stuff. But I'm thinking around here. I don't know if I would actually. I'm assuming that there wouldn't really be a line of sight because of the trees and the rock.
No, not much. Yeah. You can see the light coming through the trees a little bit of the Guardian. The light is not as bright as it was when you were here last. Ahlin, you would have noticed that too, just a touch dimmer.
The what?
The light coming from the Radiant Guardian is not as blindingly bright as it was originally. Okay. But you can still see it. Quell can still see it a little bit glinting through the trees and bushes as you make your way up the boulders.
Keeping close to the ground and trying to make sure the light doesn't seem to be getting brighter as it's coming towards me.
It does not, and you're pretty confident. You feel like this was a real good sneak that you did. You're pretty confident that it hasn't noticed you. It doesn't seem to be moving. There's nothing really moving at all around here. It's quite peaceful and quiet. There's some little grasshoppers and things. The area up toward the house seems quiet. The path seems quiet. It's all quite peaceful. No indication that you guys had a knockdown, drag out battle here the previous day. At least not in the way the trees are blowing in the breeze and the grass is, folding in the wind.
Doing grass an internal sigh, but breathing quiet.
Can you, is there a way for you to, muffle it yourself if you got a beak? I feel like you'd have to, really...
Yeah, I just buried in my feathers to help muffle the sounds.
Okay, that's good. That's way more dignified than me just, literally...
Yeah, I don't really give a hand muzzle for a beak. It's a little weird. That's for added whistle.
Yeah.
The rest of you have reconvened with each other on the beach, the little sandbar, and Quell has headed up the slope.
Please don't be mad, but we brought somebody with us.
Why would I be mad?
Because you were mad about Yadira coming with us. Or you No, you weren't mad. I'm sorry. It's because you didn't want Yadira to come with us. And typically, when you do things that other people don't want you to do, they get mad about it.
I'm not mad.
Okay, cool. But also,
Ursula's just like looking back and forth, like kind of squeegeeing the water out of her fur with her claws.
But just so you all know, that way is the Light Guardian.
Oh.
And Quell said that they have like a mission here, or she has a mission here. And she headed that way up those rocks.
You know what would be really helpful right now? I feel like a Yadira would be very helpful in this particular instance. I just wanted to say that really quick. Anyway, so we haven't found Red yet?
No, I'm assuming he's dead.
Great.
Ursula is frowning in the direction of the path that you know of, and where you had gestured that the guardian still is, and you can hear her muttering to herself, "Guardian of what? I'd like to know. Guardian of my place? I'd like to have a word with him."
He doesn't talk, he just kills.
I could have a word or two
Okay.
myself. He doesn't need to talk back.
He hits real hard though. So, and I'll like pull like off the side of like attached to my hip. I'm gonna pull out just like a hand axe, very simple hand axe, and I'm gonna hand it to him.
I also have a mace.
How do you wield a mace?
I don't know, I just found it on the road one time, aka it was in my starting equipment.
Wow. Because I carry a mace.
It was in my starting equipment.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, well, she will definitely take that from you.
Okay, yeah, she can absolutely have the mace.
What is it? Is it just a standard mace?
Yeah, it's a simple mace weapon, yeah.
Okay.
I'll just keep my hand axe then.
I mean, she took the hand axe too. Do you want to take it back from her?
Nope, she can have it. She can
Okay.
have it. I don't need it. Not right now.
Yeah, she's like, she feels more ready now. She squares up her shoulders and says, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go have a word with that thing unless you want me to do something else."
No, stay with us. That thing is very scary.
All
I
right.
think we can maybe later.
Also, well, okay, so I don't know, did we not, when we were on our, like, we didn't hear, sorry, we didn't see any bright lights, right? Like, because wouldn't we have seen, like, you know, at some point? I feel like Red might not be dead yet, because I feel like we would have seen, like, a flash of light, right? That would indicate that the Guardian found him.
You would have seen, when you were coming in, you would have seen the slightly dimmer light of the Guardian further up the path toward the house.
Yeah.
Stationary.
So I'm going to follow the path that Quill went. You all are more than welcome to follow me, but I'm kind of into the same boat as Quill and kind of have to do this.
Oh, I told Quill I would help her, so I'm okay with following you.
Okay. And I don't want to leave Quill for very long by herself, so...
Oh yeah, she did mention earlier that if something were to happen, to meet back over here at the sandbank. Oh. So there's that.
Love a person with a good plan. So then I'm gonna find Albert and yeah, I'm gonna start like, I guess, go the direction that Ahlan pointed, but also like looking on the ground for tracks, like Quells and potentially Reds, because I'm gonna assume that if that's the tracks that we have been following have been Reds, and I'm gonna assume that if Quell is going that direction, Quell found something. So
okay. Yeah, you can easily follow that path. Ursula sort of furrows her brow and says, well, yeah, we can go that way. You know, if we wanted to, also, we could just get to the house around this. Maybe I should do that. Do you want me to stay with you?
Actually, that's
I'm
a
pretty
really good
frustrated,
idea.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Actually, that's a really good idea because Ursula knows the whole island and all the sneaky secret paths. So we could actually probably get around the island a lot easier with her help. Actually, we shouldn't have come here without her in the first place.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna go in the same direction that Elle did, though. So if you want to catch up with her, that's. But I'm thinking, if that thing is over there and you don't want me to have a talk with it, then I'm gonna just head around the sandbar toward the house, whoever's there.
Well, they're also dangerous. Like there's more than one of them, and one of them tried to kill us. Well, they both tried to kill us, but one of them has tried to kill us twice.
I don't want to scare you, sweetheart, but
Don't worry,
I
you
can mess
already
the
do.
people up.
Oh, okay. I don't doubt that. But I really think we should all stay together.
We could try to go get Quell and
Can
meet
keep
back
an eye,
up.
keep an eye out.
Is there multiple ways to get where you need to go?
Sure, there's all sorts of ways up. It's not a very big place, but I was going to go around the sandbar because you can't see up at the top of the island. You can't that spot from the path. So that was my idea. But you can also go the way Quell did. There's some real nice little picnic spots up there, and I guess the rest of it would just be the path. So we don't want to do that apparently. I'll follow you if you want me to, but otherwise, I'm gonna head toward the house.
Fibbits, like,
Sam, you cut out for a second, but did you say that
Sorry.
as Ursula? No, you're good. It could have been just me. Did you say that if we took the sandbar, you couldn't see the sandbar from the house?
Yeah, it's that side of the island is up, like almost a little cliff. If you think of actually the picture in our layout, the beautiful art that Al did for us, that is the side we're looking at. In that art, we're looking at the top of the map. We're looking from that direction. So there's like a little sandbar and the real steep kind of hill up, and the house is at the tippy top.
Okay, then yeah, I'll look at Ursula and I'll say, if you think that no one will be able to see us from this angle, then yeah.
Shouldn't do, not unless they've posted somebody to watch out specifically on that side.
Well, then let's keep an eye out for Quell and follow this new path.
okay.
All right. So Ursula's going to head this way, basically around the sandbar and around the sort of beachy area here.
I'm moving everybody.
Okay. Let's have everybody make a stealth check. I will do that, including Ursula. But who's that? So Ahlin and Devin and Fibbit, please make me stealth checks.
Oh no. Oh no.
21.
Okay.
I got a 12.
I got a 3 because I have to roll at disadvantage.
Okay. Well, Ursula rolled a 19. So you guys are doing pretty well. I'm going to roll.
Well, we don't have our ranger to cast pass without a trace on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ursula's moving surprisingly quietly. Like, for her bulk, she knows where to put her feet, and the sand is nice and quiet inherently. So y'all are doing a pretty good job. There's a little bit of stumbling here and there, but for the most part, you were being pretty stealthy. Quill, what are you doing? Are you gonna just post up there and wait for something, or were you gonna head back to the group?
Since I've gotten like a little bit further, has there Am I seeing or hearing anything?
Which direction did you go?
So I've been going in this direction, so I'm kind of in this tree line,
Okay.
near like the rocks and such.
Nothing additional, no.
Okay.
You can keep going in any direction you like and let me know.
Oh, this looks like a tall tree. So probably like in this general area, I'm just kind of going bush by bush, seeing if I am either seeing red. Also, a little roundabout to the house, seeing if any parties or lounging about outside.
Okay. Did you say you said you mentioned the tall tree? This tree here is quite large. Did you want to go up to the top of it? Like, are you looking out over the rocks and things at the top of that tree?
Yeah,
or are you just
trying
gonna
to
stay kind of like underneath the canopy?
Well, I imagine the rock's probably blocking quite a bit of the view unless
You'd have to
being
get up to
able
the
to
top
get
of
up
it.
higher.
Mhm.
Still trying to so I'm gonna try to look out towards the top of the tree, but stay in the denser
Okay.
branches
Yeah, you'd
to
have to
try to
go
minimize.
okay.
Yeah.
You'd have to go up to the tippy top to be able to see over the boulders, but you think you could do that if you were up there. But for now,
Okay.
you're not seeing anything new.
Okay. I'll try the tippy top and to peer around.
Okay. So you've had, you know which direction the light is coming in. Like, I'm not.
Somebody new.
Oh, yep.
Somebody new subscribed. I was like, I didn't do that. Thank you.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm the breezy one. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
I was like, who
Hi,
are the natural
Breezy.
20?
Yeah, I was like, no, I didn't do that. My hands weren't anywhere.
Hi, Breezy.
Hi, thank
Breezy
you.
knows me. Breezy knows me.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
Scared
All
the
right,
shit
yeah.
out of me.
It scared all of us, I think.
I just thought you leaned on like
Yeah.
the soundboard. I'm not going to have you roll for this because you've been rolling a lot. You can see where the guardian is posted on the path from the top of the tree, seeing over the boulders. They have stopped still and have assumed they're sort of like square position with the sword up over their head. And just down, let's see here. Which one of these am I going to use? We'll say this. Just down next to them, lying here in the grass next to the path, is a woolly reddish brown shape. Is that where it is? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where's the icon? I don't see it. Unless there's
here.
the thing right next to the guardian. That? Okay, so right next to the guardian? That's where the red woolliness is?
Yeah.
It's the bag icon, right?
It's the bag icon, yeah.
Okay.
The guardian hasn't moved to attack it yet?
The guardian is stock still, similar to how you remember them, the sword over their head in the guarding pose. They are, yeah, slightly dimmer and a little banged up.
Oh, okay. So does it look like the guardian's been fighting? Is that it? No?
Could have been. You banged it up a bit before you left.
Okay.
It could have been. You can't tell a detail from this distance.
I'm gonna just watch it for a second to see if the guardian goes to attack him. Because I'm concerned if the guardian doesn't attack. That to me means there's a tie here. Red might be in on it. Yeah.
As you watch for about a minute, the guardian does not move, nor does the woolly red shape on the ground.
Oh. But I'm so close to the house. Okay, looking around, do I see companions at all? Since I have a higher vantage point?
Yeah, I would say you would see that your little group is puttering along, sort of behind you, where towards that top part of the island. There's a pretty good drop off now because you climbed up pretty high and you're at the top of a tree, so they're quite a distance below you, down by the water, coming up on the beach across the top of that island.
Okay, seeing the other group members and the moving red, oof, I'm gonna skimper down to the party
Okay.
and regroup and inform when that comes up.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say you managed to get down there easily enough. You guys all meet up there. Are you going to walk and talk towards the house?
Yeah,
You want us to take a minute and catch up?
yeah, I will let them all know, see if they want to go in the same. Okay, so I was able to get a good vantage point from one of the trees. And Ahalin, where you said about the guardian, there does seem to be a red furry cluster near it. I was watching it for a bit. I didn't see either of them moving. I didn't see any fighting from the guardian, nor did I see the red ball moving, but I'm a little concerned about going to approach the red fur, which I'm assuming to be red.
Is Red
You know,
in on it?
if he wasn't moving, yeah, well, I'm not going to say anything, but he's kind of an action type.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh.
Man of action, you could say. Clearly.
A ram
Coming
of
out there on his
action.
own.
I'm sorry.
You could say that.
I'm sorry. I know sometimes when I say things it's inappropriate, but it just
She
happens.
very gently pats your top of your head and your ears. No, that was a good one. I'm just a little worried.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't want to risk giving off our position if to go potentially check on red. At first I thought maybe in on it, but neither one was moving, so the guardian doesn't seem to be defending its territory, nor is red moving, so I don't know how beneficial it would be to give away position. Did we still want to go up to you all are headed to the house?
I'd like to go see the whatever we can find in the house, because clearly something is wrong up there, and that's what I'd like to do. Again, I respect if you all want me to stay with you, but I'd like to head up and see my house.
I hate to say this, but I think you're right. But if the guardian isn't moving and the red is next to him, there's nothing I can do, sadly. And I hate making that decision, but if it's him or us stopping whatever is happening, I'm going to choose us. Set our odds.
Ursula turns to you, Quell. Was it like the fluff that you saw? Was it like the color of like a real faded brick in the sun?
Yes.
Yeah, it was similar to that.
All right.
I'm assuming whatever threat is no longer a threat.
From our previous experience, I
From your previous experience, yeah, when you guys had moved toward the house, that's when you'd been attacked. It clearly seems to want you to not go up to the house. All right, continuing on the sand across the top of the island here. On, let's see, as you get to, let's take you up here. Underneath, you can see the house now up the slope, quite high up. It's the real cliff on that side. And everything's quiet. You're not noticing any movement. You're not hearing anything in particular. Ursula will lead you, if you are up for it, around to the other side here, where there is the deck that wraps around the house has a long stairway that descends down to the beach, down that little cliff side there. And she will lead you to that if you are up for it. And we'll start to climb toward the house. I guess she'll put her one foot on the stair and then say, I can still try to be quiet, but I don't know how well I'm going to do. Kind of exposed up here, but I don't see anything right now in the house.
On a scale of like 1 to 10, how worried are you that the stairs are going to break with all of our weight on it?
Oh, that's down at a 1.
Okay.
These are sturdy.
Okay.
My daddy made them, and
Okay.
He was like me, so they're quite strong.
So not a 0. Okay.
I mean, anything could happen, sweetheart.
Oh, okay.
Everybody make me a perception check. And I will include Ursula in that.
Oh, good.
19.
Okay.
Mod 20.
Hey.
I also got a dirty 20.
Oh my gosh.
I got a 9.
Amazing. Quill, you got a bunch of like sand in your feathers. It's like starting to get uncomfortable. Yeah, like ugh. Okay. Ursula rolled quite well too. What did she roll on top of that? Yeah, she rolled pretty well too. She rolled a 16. Looking up at the house, it's a beautiful old house. Looks like carefully handcrafted, lovingly made from somebody who knew what they were doing. It's 2 stories high. There's a wraparound deck that you can see one side of from where you are, with a couple of deck chairs and some beautiful potted plants. It's really a lovely spot. Like, you can see why people want to come out here. The view from up there must be gorgeous. And looking at the windows on this side of the house, everything is very quiet. There's no light inside coming out. It's about, by this point, it's got to be at least 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And the sun is not going to be out for too late because it's still springtime. So there's no light coming from inside the house, neither the first nor the second story. You see 0 movement. It doesn't look at the moment like there's anything there. Yeah. Okay, Ursula will...
Let's keep crawling up the stairs.
Okay. Let's make another stealth check.
Is there a way to get up there without following, like, I'm assuming that we're going either double or single file line up these stairs. Is there a way, kind of like the deck, to get up there?
No, it's far above you.
Okay.
Yeah, you could clamber up the side. It would take a while and not be easy.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a long, long staircase. All right, stealth check in. Ooh. Okay.
Oof,
Hate
8.
disadvantage. Also 8.
18.
What was yours, Alan?
8.
Oh boy. Okay.
None of us did good except for
Also rolled an 8.
I have to roll a disadvantage.
Are you, because you're wearing, is it your armor?
Yeah.
Well, like clink, clunk, clunk, clunk noises.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it
little
sounds,
puppy too.
it sounds like rolling around like a handful of cutlery in your hands. Like of metal cutlery.
I try. I like try to like keep my hands on top of the plate to like keep it down, but
And then Fibbit, who got a 4, is like, I think you need oil.
Fibbit chatting on the way up.
Yeah.
Sound of the armor. Ursula like makes a hoot noise as she like hoists herself up the last couple steps. You are not being quiet, and eyeballing the house, you hold your breath thinking there's no way we weren't heard. But there's silence.
nobody.
Either they're busy or rolled very low.
There is no sign still of movement, and whew, that's a relief because, yeah.
I think at this point it's a trap.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I'm gonna do one of my Firbolg traits and cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
And I'm looking for like magical traps and anything else.
Okay, great. You're all made it to the top of the steps here. I'm going to move everybody. Oh, I should make Ursula's thing a little bigger here. Okay. So Ursula went ahead and went up on the deck if nobody stopped her.
No.
Okay.
I didn't stop her. She knows
What's-
the way.
What's our marching order here? Because it's pretty much single file. What order were you in? Would Devin be behind Ursula?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Phibbs is next to Devin?
Phibbs is behind Devin, clutching onto that armor very tightly.
Okay. All right. And then we've got Quill back here. Okay. Excellent. You'd actually be a little closer together than is shown here, but that's fine. How far does Detect Magic reach?
30. Hold on, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 30 feet from me. Concentration, 10 minutes.
Okay.
And it can penetrate some walls.
Okay.
You good, Tara? You good? Tara had
Okay.
a moment.
Tara
My
had
partner came home and scared the crap out of me.
Oh. Alrighty. You, with your Detect Magic up, the inside of the house lights up with a few different points. You okay? Okay. There's several magical signatures that you're picking up. The first one is at the back door, which I did not build in, but does exist. It is right here at the edge of the deck. There are 2 magical signatures underneath the door jamb. Inside, you can also sense below you, somewhat below you, magical signatures over here. So this would not be on the same level as you. And a couple of little blips. Can you get that far? Yeah, like here.
Okay, and okay, hold on, let me get back in here. Yeah, you said about here, here, and where else? Anywhere else?
That's it. That's all you can sense from there.
Okay. According to
you should be able to zoom in on this.
Yeah. According to the spell, I also learned a school of magic, if there is any.
Magic? Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me double check then what these would be. Anybody have anything they want to say while I look that up?
It's almost spooky season, guys. It's still over a month, but start those decorations whenever you want. We're all adults here.
If you like this fun map we're using Owlbear Rodeo and all its cool little tools. I don't remember where Rock said that she got the map from.
Incarnate, right?
I made it. I built it from scratch on Incarnate.
There it is. There it is. We're not sponsored in any way. We're just saying it's really pretty and fun to use.
Which is not to say we wouldn't like to be sponsored.
I mean, that would be cool.
It's my dream next resort trip, so
Yeah, this is really nice. I'd stay
imaginary
here.
resort. Yeah.
Ooh, D&D trip.
Okay, here we go. Got it. Thank you. That was perfect. That's exactly what I needed. The 2 signatures under the door jammed directly in front of you are evocation, magic, which is the same magic, say, used in the landmines.
Oh, that's so weird.
Why would that be? The farther inside, the sort of these signatures at the back of that, not the back of the house, actually that's the front of the house up here, are double checking. Divination and transmutation.
Divination, okay.
The more powerful signature that you feel is probably below you on this side of the house is conjuration.
You can hear Bibbit whispering in the back of your mind, I was right. I'm right. It's me. I was right.
Also, none of these signatures are moving. They're all stationary.
Okay. Are there windows? Because I'll like hold like Ursula back before she tries to open the door, and like my eyes flash the green, and that's when detect magic goes up, and I'll say like, there's something underneath this door, and there's a couple other spots in the house. Are there windows or other doors that maybe we can get in without going to the front of the house?
Well, there's only this back door. There's no others. But there's windows you can sort of see. You can see all along the side of the house. There's such a beautiful view from up here. I mean, looking out behind you, you're seeing over the water into the forest on the other side of the lake. It's so, so pretty. And there's some big picture windows on this side of the house for sure, down along that deck. The side of the house over here has got like what looks like some little kitchen windows.
Okay, so like there's like big picturesque windows like here.
Yeah, and then around this exactly as well. So there's a lot of windows here. It's really made to enjoy the view.
Okay. I'm trying to think who's the sneakier one out of all of us. And I don't have anything super cool all I've got is tech magic. Oh wait, I could do this, maybe. And it's not concentration, and it'll be 6 seconds, so I don't know. Someone else stop me if you have something cooler to do.
Then what are you doing? I'm sorry.
My idea is, I'm meta gaming the crap out of this. My idea is using another Furbolg trait called Hidden Step, where for 6 seconds, it's 1 round, I can disappear. And so I thought my idea was like to like maybe stand next to a window, disappear, peek in and look, and before the 6 seconds is up to come back. So I'm not seen.
Okay.
But I am very large and very loud, so...
Can you do that to other people?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. I can...
Unless quieter people or smaller people have better things, please take the floor and do. I don't want to hog anything. We are a party.
We could just break a window.
Yeah, that's kind of what my thought was too.
Well, hang on now.
But that would make a noise.
I don't know if we need to like break anything, you know? Like this could probably be unlocked, and she gestures at the door.
There's
I don't have any keys on me, but it's not a very difficult lock.
There's something under the door, and I'm afraid if we open it, it'll set off.
All right.
I have a feeling that there might be more of those explosion things
I can
that you
open.
were.
I can open the door from far away. Maybe we could all back up a lot and then open the door.
I'm so worried that's going to make noise and blow up.
Oh.
Is the problem?
Is there a way to get through the windows without breaking them?
That's what I was wondering, but I didn't want to obviously open a window and crawl through it.
Well, the ones around the other side of the house are more able to be open. This one over here is just like a picture window. But yeah, if you go around sort of near, there's like a bedroom on this level up there, like a guest bedroom. There's an openable window in there. I'm not entirely sure that I could crawl through it, but I could try.
Where did you like here? GM? This like here? Yeah. Is that where she's talking? Or is she talking the front? You're muted.
Oh, for
It's
fuck's
okay.
sake. I had just navigated away because I don't have multiple screens. Okay.
You're good.
Yes, that is that side. That's where she's
Okay.
gesturing, like around the side of the house.
Well then,
But we'd
Yeah.
have to go back through, like we'd have to pass by a bunch of windows to get over there. So
We couldn't
We
I'm
can-
fine.
get flat belly it, or is the window that expansive?
We could try.
But then I would
I-
get my cloak all dirty.
I'm too big.
Okay.
There's
Yeah,
no
Ursula's
way.
big. Ursula and Devin are big ladies. Like you think if
Devin-
Ursula like really squashed herself down, she'd still be easily 3 feet high.
I can try to do it.
Okay.
Do what? Do open a window?
Mhm.
Okay.
And I will warn Auckland like where the shiny spots I'm seeing are in the house.
Mhm. As you describe it, Ursula will sort of ask you to clarify. And when you mention one is lower on a lower level, she
Mhm.
says, I don't know what would be down there. That's the basement.
Is there a way into the basement?
Just from inside the house.
Mm. Okay.
Sort of a cellar is what it is, really.
Mm.
No, it's maybe more of a basement. I don't think, no, there used to be a door down there, but we filled it in because it was starting to cave in and compromise the foundation. So I think if you really wanted to dig, you could get through there, but there's no door there anymore.
Okay. Well, if I am able to open up a window, what do you want me to do? Go inside? Open up a door?
You can go inside if you like, sure. I don't mind.
Right.
You can do whatever you
And-
like in there.
Do you want me to join you?
Yes.
I'll join you inside, Alice.
Please be very careful of the door. Like I said, there's 2 things right here.
Okay.
But they're
So
not moving.
don't open this door. Open up the
Well,
other door.
if you can disable them, because weren't we able to disable 1 or 2 of them if they're landmines?
Yeah, they can be very, very carefully dug up, and they can be dispelled.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, you're talking about like if Alhin comes through the house and unlocks the door for everybody. Right. Okay.
So, well, okay, so so if it's like a mine, then it would be like, wouldn't we just be worried about stepping on it after opening the door? So it could stand to reason that opening the door will be fine. We just need to make sure to step over the mine immediately at the opening of the
Or
door.
opening the door triggers it.
Well, can we try opening the door a little bit to see if there's like a
Not risking it.
No, okay. Never mind.
Do you want
I'm
that
okay.
guardian coming to us?
I think I'm a little confused. You want me to go through the window? I
Mhm.
thought I was avoiding those doors. Am I opening up the other door?
So
There's only one door, right? Just
Well,
This
there's
door
a
that's
front.
trapped?
There's a front door way up at the front. It's way over there on the other side at the top of the path. That's where the front door is. Nice stoop. There's like some potted plants and stuff. I made it pretty, you know.
What was this over here? This is
A
what
window.
I'm thinking of.
Bedroom window.
Oh, okay.
Guest
Okay.
bedroom window. Yeah.
That's
Window
the window we
here.
are gonna sneak into.
Okay. And then, but you are all saying that we should open up this door here.
Yeah. To get us
Well,
in.
is because there's not a path around this house
Mm-mm.
to the front, right? It's only the front door access. It's not like a full deck around the cabin.
Am I on mute again? No. Ursula will say, well, you can sort of clamber down. It's easy to clamber down from the other end of the deck and then come around to the door. It's all on a level at that point on that side. Devin, your detect magic did not reach the whole bit, FYI.
Ooh.
Just so you know, though, if I do open up that door, we might as well just open it up here because I don't have anything to dispel anything, or if there's something magical there, there's nothing I can really do. I can try to see if I see something, but I don't necessarily think that that's my skill set.
Oh, okay.
I think we should just go home. But if we don't just go home, we should back up and just open the door.
Maybe it won't explode. Maybe something will happen. Maybe it's an alarm. Who knows?
Maybe it's Maybelline. Who knows?
Yeah.
Either way, we'll be announcing ourselves. Because if we break one of the large windows, it's gonna make noise. If this triggers, it's gonna make noise.
And you two can't fit through a window, right?
Well, I probably could. I don't think it would be easy, but Ursula's starting to shift uncomfortably at all the talk of like breaking windows and like just, yeah.
Well, I guess Ursula, which one would be worse for you, breaking a window or a possible mine going off at one of the doors?
Well, I survived the mine going off, so
But
I don't feel bad about that.
I guess, well, I guess I would assume the mine would do more structural damage to the home than breaking a window would.
Well,
No.
it explodes upward, so
Well-
it might be at the door.
It would also give away our position. So maybe we'll sneak over here and we'll go to this window and we'll try to unlock it and then
You know, the door can be replaced more easily, but those big panes of glass are a real difficult to get up here. So and they cost a bunch of money. Money I know is not what's important here, but if we can help it, it would just be nice to not break the windows my daddy put in.
all right. Fibbit, let's just do your plan.
Okay.
Let's just back up.
Okay, Fibbit's right. Once again, it feels so good for me.
All right. Everybody backs up down the stairs.
Yeah, I have everybody back up at least I want at least 10 feet between Fibbit, who is now at the front, terrified, and that door. And Fibbit, in the most suspicious way possible, brings their backpack to the front and opens the front flap and whispers into it. They whisper, and after a second, a little blue wispy thing comes out, and it makes a very leisurely way to the door and turns the knob and slowly starts opening it.
I'm just going to go double check here what you're using. Just a moment and make sure I know how it works. Okay. So this blue wispy light that you recognize that you guys had seen glimpsed once before after the fight with the Bone Whelks emerges from Fibbit's pack and floats to the door where a little hand-like wisp floats out of it, wraps around the doorknob, turns the doorknob, and it's locked.
Oh. Okay. It's locked.
I think you can have this try to pick a lock if you wanted to. It's basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have to have tools. Somebody has to have tools.
Does anybody have tools?
I wondered the same thing. I do not see tools in my inventory for that. So,
Okay.
no, sorry, Fibit.
Okay, hold on. I want to do. I'm gonna do something fun, because okay, so it's the equivalent of a mage hand. Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. So. Okay, so a mage hand can hold 10 pounds. You know what's 5 pounds? A crowbar.
You do have a really lovely fancy crowbar.
I do have a really lovely fancy crowbar.
Wait, I have an all tools thing.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. I also have.
You collectively. Do you also have a crowbar?
Yeah, it just in my pack. Yeah, it's starting equipment. I have a bunch of random shit for my starting equipment. I got. Hold on. In my starting.
I've got the all-purpose tool. Would a pick count for an all-purpose magical tool?
It could turn into a lockpick, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, this
well,
is.
Well, then in that case,
yeah, it's way.
I pull out my all-purpose tool. I concentrate real hard on a lockpick, and like fling it, and then I hand it to Fibit.
Real thin, beautiful, like little, beautifully crafted, thin little tool.
It was a wrench first.
Mm-hmm.
So Fibit takes the little lockpick and is like, "Hey, come back. Okay, and then he hands it to the little ghost. Okay, I need you to use this on the lock there. You can just listen to me and I can do it. Cool, great, I love that. Yeah, and then
there's now a blue floaty, bright little, not bright, but like little glowing cloud holding a lockpick at the door.
Yep. Okay, now do it.
Roll for something. All right.
I think it's Dex. I don't have proficiency in Thieves' Tools, so I think it's like just a Dex.
Just a straight. Give me a straight Dex roll.
Okay.
I love Dungeons and Dragons.
What if I had advantage?
You definitely don't.
But what if I did? You know what?
Well, it does get a +1. I think the tools fit too.
Okay.
Oh no, I just closed out my sheet.
Okay, so well, if I get a +1 from the tools and I get a +1 to my Dex, that's a 4.
The wisp, like as you like mutter to it, the wisp like holding the lockpick like goes dink and misses the handle entirely, and then like bunk and like makes a little like puts a little chip in the glass, and like it's like a kitchen door. It's got a couple of tiny panes of glass. Bink.
Sorry.
Bunk. Bunk.
Okay. Okay.
It drops it.
Yeah. Oh God.
Tries to go pick it up.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think this is the best way to do it. Maybe can someone else maybe pick the lock and then I'll have my friend open it.
I can try.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You do that. Also, here. Hold on.
Can I just try to go, like getting impatient? Helen is going to just kind of go past everybody.
Sure.
And try to go through the window.
Okay. Yeah. Are you gonna sneak? Are you gonna sneak under the line of sight, or are you just gonna walk over there?
I'm gonna try to sneak under the line of sight.
Okay, great. Give me a stealth check, and we'll do that for now. What are you guys, rest of you guys doing?
I was gonna go up to the door and try to pick it.
Just pick it, and then we'll have my friend open the door.
Okay.
Okay.
You're not proficient in thieves' tools, correct?
No.
Okay, dexterity check, please. Ahlin, what was your stealth?
Oh, everyone can see me. It's a 4.
Ugh.
Cool. Yeah, with the little jingling noises, little sun glinting off of your beads. You
Beads.
across in front of the picture window, around the little curve, which has a little. You can see in the windows. It has a little, like little bench, like a little reading nook, and then head over to the other side where there is a window, a bedroom style window that you could probably lift if you.
Do I see anything in there?
Perception check, please.
And I got a 15 for the thieves tool.
Okay.
Oh wait, 16 because if the tools have a +1.
They do, but that's actually good to know what you rolled because it was going to be dual purpose here.
Okay.
We're gonna let's see how we should do this. Yeah, we'll have you do the thieves tools at first. You coming up to the door with a 15, do recognize how the boards are laid out under the door, and that there's one primary board that you think to yourself you probably shouldn't step on, because it does jet out a little bit from the door, like the way that the deck is built, right? And if there's something under there, you're like, I'm going to just stand a little bit back from that. And you insert the lockpick into the lock. And after a little bit of fiddling, you're also using I think you have to use 2 things, like a little pin or something from your pack. And you hear a little gentle click, and the door you think has probably been unlocked.
Okay, come on.
I look back. Okay, I think I'll shuffle back. I think I did it.
I'll take my tool back.
Okay, Pivot does a to the little light to have it open the door.
Okay. Click. The door swings a little bit open. Ahlin, what was your perception check again?
It was a good all natty 1, so 4.
Okay. Seems quiet in the house. See anything?
Yeah.
You haven't noticed anything in particular? No.
Okay. And from where I am, I can't tell that they've opened the door or anything, right?
No idea.
All right, I'm going through the window.
Okay, it is unlocked. You were able to pull the sash up and make a nice little space for yourself to wriggle through.
I'm muted. Is there anything as I open up the window and start to go through? Do I see anything in the room?
It is a little guest bedroom. It has a double bed that is made, neatly made. Doesn't look like anybody's really been in here. And the door is closed. The door to the rest of the house.
Okay.
It's nice. It's like a little bit rustic, like in a kind of cabin way. You know, there's like a little love, laugh, live sign on one of the dresses.
I'll slowly turn the handle, hoping it doesn't make any noise, and then slowly open the door just so I could kind of peek an eye through. Do you see anything?
Well, it's pretty quiet in here. From the back of the house, you guys have opened the back door as well, slightly, and
And what?
Everything is quiet from both sides, both doors that you've opened. Still nothing appearing.
What's at the floorboard in front of the or behind the door?
Nothing. There's a floorboard, a large floorboard underneath where the door jamb is.
Okay.
That Quell had made a point not to step on just in case.
Fibbit looks at everybody and says, "We should probably avoid that one."
Okay, can we go into my house now?
Okay.
All right. Ursula's gonna just sort of hustle past the rest of you and step over.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's
as you point to it, she lifts her big old paws and steps over it, and nothing happens. Are you all good? Okay.
Yeah.
Ahlin, what are you doing? You gonna come through and meet?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. But if there's any, I'll try to remember where Devin had said that certain things were, and I'll try to avoid those areas.
Yeah, so in the hallway outside of the little guest bedroom, you can see that there's a door left ajar on the end of the hallway that must lead into the room that like it's the direction that Devin had been indicating there was something magical. There's some kind of big room on that side. Down the hall towards where everybody else came from, there's a room that has, or like a family room that has that reading nook, and then a dining room which has the beautiful picture windows, and the rest of the group is coming in between the dining room and the kitchen. There's a door there.
Okay, I'll just start to walk over to them.
You all reconvene. Looking around the house, Ursula reaches over and flips on the kitchen light because there's nobody in the kitchen. It's a big open plan with an island. Flips on the light, and the place is trashed. So there are broken dishes in the sink. The cabinets are swinging open. Everything is a mess. The dining room chairs, a couple of them are broken. A couple of them are missing. And she just gasps, looking around at this, and says, well, I don't know what they did in here, but she looks at you, Ahlin. Did you come from, was it all clear down there?
Yeah, but down there, where Devin said that there might be some magic, though, that door was open a little bit.
She sort of like bustles past you saying, well, they are not going to get their deposit back, and heads down the hallway and throws open the door to, if you all follow her, what you can see is a study. This is a large room at the front of the house. And it is, if the kitchen was a mess, this is even worse. There are papers everywhere, books everywhere, somebody's belongings all just like scattered on the floor. One of the desks is broken. There are books everywhere. One of the bookcases has been physically torn down off the wall and is lying sideways with the book spilled out across it. There are burn marks in the desktop. There are singed piles of papers on the floor. It is completely been destroyed. And it is utterly silent. There is nobody here. And as you survey that, we are going to end for today. And we'll pick up in the study next time.
Oh boy. Oh man.
I feel so bad for Ursula.
For Ursula.
Fucked up her house.
We gotta go in the basement. Also, we need to search. We have to loot this room.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's gonna be so much good shit in here. I can just
well,
feel
maybe
it.
Not good shit, but information.
Yeah, Fibbit's like, do I have to? Do I have to use my analytical brain? Because I feel like I've learned enough.
Well, good job avoiding the Guardian this time, everybody.
Hey,
yay, improvement.
Well done. Well done. I'm very
Thanks,
didn't want to get fucked up with that.
Yeah, thanks, Ursula.
Yeah, if you had not had her come to the island, like there's all sorts of ways this could have gone. Yeah. Thank you all so much. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, my wonderful players. I'm so excited for the beginning of the next session because get your notes ready. It's going to be a fun one.
Cool. Great. I love that. I love hearing that from a DM.
And what could be in the basement?
We'll find out next time, I guess.
Find out next time on Arkinia, the Elements of Surprise. We will see everybody next time. Chris, you want to give us the last bits of info for people?
Once again, thank you for joining us, and catch us every other Sunday, with the exception of September 4th, live on Twitch, or catch up on our past episodes on YouTube. Give us a like or follow on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter at Queer Dragons.
Yes. Thank you all so much. I love you all. We love you all. Mwah. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.